Hey everyone, my name's Dan, and this is part one in a series of tutorials to teach you how to be a web designer. And it's geared specifically towards those people who have some creative talent but are a little intimidated by all of the programming that people think you have to know in order to create a website. But it's actually quite easy. First, you're going to need a domain name. You can check if your domain name is available on Google, just type in domain name availability tool. And once you've found that it is available, you can purchase it through Namecheap or GoDaddy. Today, we're going to be doing everything through a company called reclaimhosting.com. They are the hosts that I use in particular, but all of the concepts that I mentioned here will apply to the rest of the companies that are out there. So today, I'm going to be using an example. We're actually going to be making this website. Cyberglow.com is the domain name I'm going to be using. So let's say that instead of finding your own domain, you are working for a client who already has a domain. Most likely they will have it registered with GoDaddy or some other big company. In order to transfer it away from that company, you're going to have to get the credentials that they have in the account with that company. So if they were doing it with GoDaddy, you would have them send their username and password. You would log in to their account, you would find the domain, and you have to unlock it so that it can be transferred. And then you're going to have to get an authorization code. Once it's been unlocked and they give you the authorization code, you're going to go back to the registrar where you want to transfer the domain name to, and you're going to um, type in the name, check if it's unlocked, and then it'll prompt you for the code. Once you enter it in, it'll actually take up to 3 or 4 days it's taken before. So just be aware of that. If you're transferring a domain, it'll take some time. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference between registering a domain and having a hosting plan. When you register a domain, you are telling the world that when someone types in a certain domain name, they're supposed to be redirected to a server. If you don't have a hosting package, that server will be the default server of the hosting company. And so what a host is instead of the default server, you're going to have your own server that the people will be sent to when they type in your web address. And on that server, it will have files that you set up, and those files will display content. And that's essentially what a website is. Many hosts sell packages where you can have a host and a domain name registration for free. So you want to check that out before you register a domain. It'll save you some money. Once you've signed up, you'll be able to log in and you should be taken to an area where there's a cPanel. Click on cPanel and you'll be taken here. So basically what you've done at this point is you have created a file system on a server and it will be named after your website. So like I said, in this one we're going to be doing cyberglow.com, but originally when I set up this account, I used the website name dancalvin.com. It's just a personal artist name. And the cool thing about uh, servers is you can actually divvy them up even more to have multiple domains on them. So in cPanel, we're going to, well, so this only applies if you have multiple website names. If you don't, then you don't really have to do this step. But let's say you become a successful web developer and you have more domains that you want to add on. So we're going to click on Add on Domains, and then we're going to type in the name of the website, and now it's going to create a new directory for that particular domain name. Now when people go to cyberglow.com, it will redirect them to what we'll see here. This will just take a few seconds. So now when we type in cyberglow.com, it takes us to this CGI bin is the only file that was created on the server when we created this add-on domain. So obviously this isn't that pretty. Here we can see cyberglow.com, and here's the file system. Nothing really there. We navigated to that by using this, the file manager. So now we want to add some content into that file. The best thing to use is WordPress. WordPress is called the content management system. There's a few different content management systems in the world, but WordPress is definitely the most used and it's the best. So on Reclaim, cPanel, WordPress, that's how we get here. You're just going to click install this application. It's very straightforward. Now, if you only have one website, it'll already be plugged in, but since we have a lot of add-on domains on this, we're going to click on this drop down and find it. I like to change these to things that I actually know instead of crazy random stuff. And install. Now we can see that the server is working and it's installing the files for WordPress onto that website. Now, if we navigate to cyberglow.com, it looks like this now. So essentially what we've created is a way to interact with the file system from a front end. So if we type in wp-admin after the website name address, it'll take us to WordPress's login page so that we can use that username and password we just created to log into the back end of the website and start to add content. Next, navigate to Appearance on the left-hand side and choose Themes, and you'll see the current active theme, which is 2017. If you notice, this is the picture that appeared when we navigated to cyberglow.com. So that's it. You've now set up your website. You have a domain name, a host, and you've installed WordPress on cPanel and created a file system that will allow you to create pages and other content and have it displayed to the public. In part two, we will talk about themes. I'm going to show you the theme that I use to create all of my content. It's much better than the default theme. It's very intuitive, so join me next time. Thanks. Thanks for watching this tutorial today. Again, this is brought to you by Dan from noblewebdesign.com.